Hi, Kim West, the Sleep Lady, and in this video blog, I'm going to answer Paula's question. Here's what she emailed in. Hello, Sleep Lady. I've always struggled with my son's sleep. He's about to turn 20 months old, and we're able to make great advances using the shuffle. But after an illness, I just can't seem to change the early schedule. He's always been an inconsistent sleeper, so he can sleep between 10 and 11 and a half hours at night, and normally one nap, hour and a half to 2.5 hours. I keep him on a flexible schedule depending on his wake time. So he normally would go down between 7 and 7:30 p.m. and wake between 6 and 6:30, which is great for us. But now he's waking between 4 and 5:15, so he's having his only nap at 11 until 12:30 or 1, and then bedtime at 6 or 6:30. So of course he can sleep only 10 hours and he'll wake at 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. He does not really seem to be able to manage more awake time than 5.5 hours. So how do I break this early sleep cycle? Thanks so much for your help. Okay, Paula, couple of things. First of all, 20 months old and in 10 hours is a little on the low end. It's not horrible, granted, but I wonder whether that really actually is enough sleep for him. So it depends on, for instance, if he sleeps from 6 to 4, is he really rested? And can he easily make it to, that 11 a.m. nap, which it sounds like he's not. So I'm wondering if he actually needs more sleep than that. Again, you're probably saying, okay, but I can't get him to sleep more than that. But I think it's important for you not to feel too attached to, oh, my child only needs 10 hours of sleep at night, because he might actually need more than that. And then the other thing is, and this will be like a little tricky dance because he's sensitive about how long he can stay awake, but I would I actually would move his 11-hour nap later in just tiny little increments so that you can also move his bedtime a little bit later in tiny little increments. So I always think of it like you have a clock and you're just going to shift it a little bit like this. So maybe you make it to 11:15 and then 6:15 and then 11:30 and then 6:30 and then, and you keep going until you can get to the earliest for a nap is 12 noon, and actually try to get it to 12:30, sometimes 1 over time, and then 7:30 bedtime. So again, you have to do them together. And then, of course, have a consistent response, not start the day before 6 a.m., even though I know that might be an unpleasant struggle for you, but really sort of setting that rule that we don't start our day till 6 a.m. And you could consider a wake-up light with him. A 20-month-old is definitely on the early end to understand it, but I've seen it work. As long as every time you come in at 6 a.m. for the dramatic wake-up, you point to whatever you're using, a toddler clock or a timer on a light, and say, oh, your wake-up light comes on. And so then I've had 20 and 20-month-olds, when you come in the morning, point to the light and say, light. And so they get it. But again, you got to say it every time. Okay? All right, well, I hope that helps.